Joining me now is Katie Nastro with the travel company Scott's Cheap Flights. Katie, let's talk about what passengers can do if they find themselves stranded. It has been a tough travel week. So what do you do if you have what do you do? Do you have a right to a refund if your flight gets canceled? What are you entitled to?
First and foremost, travelers need to understand if their flight is canceled or significantly delayed under federal law, you are entitled to a full cash refund or a rebooked flight for that significant delay or canceled flight. End of story, no ifs, ands, or buts. You are entitled to that. And the refunds should be pretty prompt. That's within 7 to 10 business days back to your credit card. It's and this law is actually across whether or not it is within the airline's control. So I think that travelers just need to have that kind of peace of mind that they can in fact get a cash refund if they choose.
Even if they offer you a voucher, you're entitled to cash?
Correct. If your flight is canceled or significantly delayed. Now it differs airline to airline what a significant delay means, but rule of thumb, general about 3 hours or more would be cause for be considered a significant delay. But again, it's airline to airline.
So now what about bags? Because I know that there's nothing worse than getting where you're supposed to be and your stuff isn't there. Are you entitled to anything, especially if you've got to buy clothes or manage without?
Sure. Yes, you are required, or the airline is required to compensate passengers up to $3,800 for lost or severely delayed bags. And again, what that means is airline to airline, but going days and days without your bag certainly constitutes a significant delay. And so that can be reimbursements for toiletries or medications, an extra change of clothes. Now airlines are not going to be giving you rights to Gucci and Prada and things of that nature, but going and buying a reasonable set of clothes and then any additionals that you need definitely would be considered would be considered compensated for.
And if we're talking about people who've been stuck at the airport for a long time, if you grab a hotel because your flight is canceled, is that covered underneath these policies with the airlines?
That's a great question. And, right now there is no federal law that states that the airlines have to cover your hotel in case of a cancellation or a delay, due to weather. But a lot of the airlines have something called the controllable, a controllable scenario. And so that means that, if it's due to an internal issue, staffing, mechanical issues, whatnot, they have policies in place. And you can find out across all airlines in the U.S. on the Department of Transport website. There's a handy little dashboard there that actually states all of the airlines and what they would cover, and many of them do. So it just goes to take an extra moment to go online, go to the Department of Transport website and see what is covered for the airline that you're traveling on. But again, that's for controllable scenarios that are within the airline's control. Again, there is no federal law that states that they have to cover your hotel for a non-controllable, but it is up to the discretion of the airlines, and in many scenarios they will. It doesn't hurt to ask is the best piece of advice for something like a hotel reimbursement, as well as get out your credit card, because credit cards nowadays, some of them have travel protections, which can actually cover reimbursements like hotel stays for canceled or severely delayed flights. So it takes not even a moment, get your credit card out, type it into Google, plus travel protections, and see what it covers.
That's awesome. Those are such good tips. I hope some people at home will be passing these along to people stuck at the airport right now. Thank you so much, Katie Nastro with Scott's Cheap Flights. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.